Happy Friday, IG. What's up? We're talking about turning pro today. And I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about my time at South by Southwest, some equipment and tools that I use. This is like a Ask Me Anything type of thing. So hello, happy Friday evening. I'm going to put comment the word grow to join. Okay, what's up, y'all? Hey. Happy Friday. As you guys come in, hello. What's going on? I want to just have a good little chit chat about turning pro, what it takes to turn pro. And then also I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I use at South by Southwest. It was a lot of tech included to make everything go off without a hitch, and it was a really great time. So happy Friday to everybody. So let's talk about it. I'm actually, when we get done with this live, hello. Yes. Hey, Natalie, what's up? Oh, hope to see me soon. Yes, girl. What you got going on? I know you always got something cooking. You always cooking, girl. You cooking. I love it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about turning pro and like, how do you know if you're ready to turn pro? So I put comment the word grow to join my foundational business program. I'm doing a 5-week live cohort and we're getting started in just a couple of weeks. I'm super excited about it. So just comment the word grow, mini chat. My automation should immediately send you the link for you to join. And it's going to be 5 weeks with me in a training in improving the business side of things. And this is for photographers. Okay. So my name is Ray Whitney. If you're new around here, what's up? Hey, you guys, as you are here, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, where you're watching from. I would love that so much. My name is Ray Whitney. I am a wedding photographer, a wedding and portrait photographer turned photography business coach. I have the honor and privilege of helping other photographers grow their photography business, grow something that is sustainable, something that feels really good to them, and help them become more confident CEOs and make more money in their business. Okay, so that is what I do. I love it over here. And so I will be doing the 2.0 version of my group, of my foundational program called From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. Okay. And From Hobbyist to Pro is all about building a solid foundation when it comes to the business side of things as a photographer. And what I know about photographers, a lot of times photographers don't want to focus on that, right? Like, I feel like we just want to shoot. We just want to, like, you know, be behind the lens and like not like have to do all the business stuff. But the best business person wins. The best marketer wins. And I just posted this on my stories because I was having a really good conversation with my homegirl about this, is that when you think about the roles and responsibilities of a pro photographer, really think about what is required of a pro photographer. Marketing and selling is one of them. Absolutely. Like, it is required, right? And I think it's one thing that photographers just hate doing. So that's where that's where I enter the chat. Okay. Cause we learn how to make it feel good, and we learn how to make it feel aligned with our offers and our services and the way that you want to show up as a photographer. So that's what it's all about. New 9K square foot media event space in Houston. Host a class here. Oh my gosh, Natalie, girl. Yes, we're going to talk. We're going to totally talk. I got to figure out a way to host a class there. That would be phenomenal. So, if you're here watching me, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Listen, when I'm on these lives, I love when people talk back to me. I love when people are interactive. If you have questions, this is a space for you to ask questions. I am on here live. I am a real girl. I'm a real human being. Okay. And so I love when people talk back to me. Also, if you are a photographer or know some photographers, please invite them to join this live. I would love that so much. Because we're going to be talking about how do you know when you are ready, right, for a coach or to join a program or to turn pro, or when you know when it's time for you to focus on the business side of things, right? And so, of course, as always, I have my notes because I just want to make sure that I stay focused, and, you know, make sure that I hit these points, because I think about my journey and when I knew it was time for me to turn pro, or when I knew it was time for me to invest in understanding more about the business. And I think one thing that is such a misconception in this world of entrepreneurship, specifically for photographers, is that you have to be intentional about developing as a business owner. Like, this is nothing that's taught to you in class. This is nothing that you might just like learn, just like on the fly. Like, you're going to learn some things on the fly, but you're going to have more trial and error when you're doing things on the fly than when you can like learn under someone. And I know for me, like, I'm very intentional about, putting myself in rooms and under other leadership. When I think about my journey, I started my photography business in a studio. Like, I had a camera, but I never would call myself a photographer, because I knew that calling yourself a photographer means that in any type of environment that you find yourself in, you're able to shoot, right? You're able to know your style of work. You're able to manipulate light. You're able to shoot in manual, all these really important things. And so my first entry point into becoming a photographer was me, enrolling in a class in a studio and learning light and learning more about my camera. And that's when I was introduced to the exposure triangle and all of the gear, lenses, and manipulating light, studio light, strobes, continuous light, tungsten light, all of those things that play a huge role when it comes to curating or creating images that are super strong, right? And so when I think about the journey in turning pro, and I specifically think about my journey, and when I think about it, I think about like the mistakes I made, things that went really, really well, and then things that didn't necessarily go that well, and what I would tell someone else to do when they're first starting, or when they're at this junction, this point in the road where they're like, okay, this was cute, but this is actually becoming a real business, or this was cute, but I would really love to see what I can do if I took this thing serious, and if I like really put some effort behind the business side, right? This is cute, but I really want to see, like, can I make $50,000? Can I make $100,000 as a photographer, right? What would I tell people to do? So that is really the framework that I follow when it comes to from hobbyist to pro. Really what I would tell people to do when it comes to turning pro. And to me, it's like the secret. Like, this is the good stuff. This is the things that you might be skipping, or you might think like, oh, that doesn't matter. It matters so much. Take it from a person who has built a photography business from the ground. I did not know anything about being a pro photographer or having a career as a photographer. I didn't even know that it was possible for me to have this, right? And so the more you know, the better, right? And so when I think about when I created From Hobbyist to Pro, and what I'm excited about is I'm about to do the 2.0. So I have From Hobbyist to Pro, which is a course, and it is it has 5 modules, and it have different lessons, very bite-sized, but it is the roadmap to growing a photography business, something that's sustainable, something that can support you to your first 20, 25, 30, 45K, right, in business. And those numbers might seem low, but baby, we got to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere. And I think a lot of times photographers or business owners in general want to go from 0 to 100K, but there's just so much in the middle of that 0 to 100K that you need to really conceptualize and learn and develop and work on in order for you to really like build something sustainable. And sustainable is what you want. Like, you don't want to build something super fast and then crash out and then look back and be like, well, how did I do that? How did I get there? Like, what do I need to do? Like, sustainability is the key in entrepreneurship. And I really think the real key is being willing to put your money where your mouth is, invest in yourself, get some help, get some coaching, be in rooms, and learn under people that have been where you are. Okay, so if you're new around here, I welcome you. Thank you for joining this live, or thank you for watching the replay. And so a little bit about me. I've had my business. I started my business, again, very organically, off of a love and a passion for photography in 2013. And over the years, I've really developed. I've turned pro, right? I've developed into this CEO and I know how to, go out and attract my clients. I know how I want to show up in the world. I've really figured this out. And not to say it's all easy for me, because it's not. Like, I still have my trials. I still have the things that I am trying to figure out and work on, but I have been in this game for a while now. It is 2025. I officially started my business in 2013. So it's 12 years now, and I've seen so much, right? And so I created From Hobbyist to Pro because I wanted to give people that blueprint. I wanted to give them that exact roadmap that they need in order to really build a solid business foundation. I'm a business girl. I'm a photographer, but I'm a business girl, okay? I think that the best thing that you can do is to start to think like a business owner super early in your journey as a entrepreneur, as a photographer. You are not just a photographer, you are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner, and you have to start thinking about it as such, right? So you have to think about your pricing structure. Like, when you are attracting clients in, how are you charging them, right? A lot of times you want to start off with hourly, and kind of charge from there. And I think that that's okay early on, but I think that as you develop, you need to create some packages, and the packages need to, really serve people really well and how you want to serve them. And you're thinking about the deliverables and the time frame and all of that kind of stuff. You really want to get clear on who it is that you're called to serve, right? Like, who it is that you really want to work with. I believe that a lot of what we do as photographers is energy, right? And the more energetically we feel aligned with our clients, the better we're able to create. And this is such an important part of turning pro, is realizing that you are not here to just be a photographer for any and everybody. That's just not what you're here for. You want to work with a certain type of person because it gets you excited. You're really, you become the visionary that you are. You find your flow, and you just start to feel really good about it. And to me, that's a really big piece. I think another huge piece early on is really developing your style of work. Right? Like, knowing how to recreate your style of work time and time again. But not only that, knowing how to articulate that style of work in your marketing messaging and to potential clients, and, like, how to really control the shooting environments that you find yourself in. Hey girl, thank you for joining me, right? This is huge. And this is a lot of times photographers really need to work on this. And, that uniqueness, like, what makes you different from another photographer? How do you articulate that to clientele? How do you talk about that when it comes to marketing and content? And the willingness to talk about it time and time again, right? And then we go into strategic marketing and advertising, okay? Again, things that photographers hate doing is marketing, is promoting, is showing up and putting your genius and your thoughts and things into the world, your work into the world. Showing up behind the lens, like talking about who you are and what inspires you and how you like to create, and these things that really will help people make a connection with you and see you as the person that they potentially want to work with, right? Again, we're not photographers for any and everybody. If you are real with yourself, there's a certain type of clientele that you really, really want to work with and you want to attract and you want to call it in. And the riches are in the niches. And so when you start to get bold enough to name it, and you start to get bold enough to call them in and talk to them, thinking about their, things, the questions that they have in their mind, thinking about the desires that they want when it comes to working with you, and being able to talk to them in that way, like, their ears start to get perked up, right? I think that and I'm excited for this piece too, for the 2.0 version of From Hobbyist to Pro, because we're going to be talking about content, and we're going to be talking about how much content has changed and what kind of content photographers absolutely should be putting out when it comes to trying to book more of their clients, right? Because content has changed so much. Like, even from 2023 to 2025, content has changed. The way that we watch content, the way that we binge content, has changed so much. And so I think that it's important for photographers to stay abreast on this and stop trying to do things that used to work for you back in prior years that may not be working for you in 2025, and having some level of evaluation when it comes to what actually is working, right? I was talking to one of my coaching clients recently, and she was asking me, like, okay, Ray, like, I've sent a couple of emails, I've done a post, but what else do you suggest that I do in order to sell her sessions? And I'm like, well, What did you do last year? What did you do in the last mini session that you sold, right? Get clear on what you did and what worked, didn't work, what you could have done more of. The evaluation is everything. It's everything. It's a vital part of understanding and then your next sales cycle, your next promotional cycle. And again, photographers don't really think like this. We're not thinking about sales cycle. We're not thinking about promotional cycle. We're not thinking about the promotion runway that it takes in order to sell said sessions or special, all of those things. But that's when it comes to thinking like a business owner. That's what is a huge part of it, right? And so this is what I like to help photographers do. Like, I like to help to develop you into a true entrepreneur, into a true business owner, helping you become a more confident CEO and thinking like a CEO, right? Using data and metrics and things in your business. And this might feel scary, or you might like, oh girl, I'm not there yet. Yes, you are. You are there yet. You are there. If you have a business and you want to make more money and you are buying all this equipment and gear that you don't even use, you need to focus on the business, because that is really where you're going to see the ROI for yourself, right? And before we even get there, you got to get your mind in the game. You got to get your mind right. And this is not a one-time thing. Mindset as an entrepreneur is not like a one-time thing. This is something that we constantly have to be working on and become aware of. The limiting thoughts, the imposter syndrome, the comparison, right? Being obsessed with all of these other people, so much so that it puts you it stalls you. You're in a chokehold, honey. You can't even show up because you don't believe that your work is good enough. And you're looking at everybody else and comparing yourself to them. But the truth of the matter is a couple things. Number one, other photographers are not your ideal client. You are not selling to them. They're never buying from you, right? You have to stop obsessing over all these other photographers unless they're helping you in your business. Unless they are helping you make money in your business, you got to release yourself from obsessing over them. And then number two, you have to realize that your clientele is not following the number of photographers like we follow. Like, we love to look at other photographers' work. Our whole timeline will be all these other photographers, but your clientele is not. Like, what if you are the only photographer that they follow? What if your work is the only work that they get to see that's done by a professional? What if you are the only photographer that's showing up as the business owner and really like talking to them, right? Hey, Octavia, thank you for joining. Hey, Simone. So I think a couple of things. Number one, you got to get your mind right when it comes to building a business and becoming a CEO and developing into an entrepreneur. Number two, you have to get out of this land of obsessing over other photographers. Love others' work. Be inspired by others' work. But realize that other photographers are not your audience. You're not selling to them. They're never going to buy from you. And so you like having this like weird obsession. I don't even say weird because we do it. You having this obsession about what they're doing, how they're doing it, their pricing, who they shot, where they shot, all those things. It's a waste of time. I want you to become obsessed with your own business. I want you to become obsessed with your own work. I want you to be blown away by what you're doing, how you're showing up, right? Like how you're pushing yourself, you're stretching yourself to become a more confident CEO, the journey of becoming that confident CEO, right? Like these are really important pieces, okay? So again, I wanted to talk about turning pro. How do you know when it's time to really invest in developing as a business owner, invest in developing the business side of things, maybe put a pause on the gear, You don't need every piece of gear under the sun. You just don't. You really don't. Like, I've been in this game long enough to know you don't, right? If you're real with yourself, there's certain lenses you're going to shoot with each and every time, right? Upgrading your body every couple of years is probably smart just because of how technology changes so vastly, especially nowadays, like from DSLR to mirrorless, you know what I mean? All of these like special things that these cameras are able to do now, like it's just, I think that every couple of years, every 2, maybe 3 years of investing, upgrading your body is important. But when it comes to lenses, like you don't need all of these lenses under the sun. When it comes to light, you don't need all of these different pieces of lighting gear. A lot of y'all aren't even using the lighting gear. Okay, it's collecting dust. You don't even know how to use it. You just bought it because you saw somebody else on YouTube with it. We got to get out of that. You have to be intentional and strategic about even how you buy your gear. Have a reason behind buying gear, okay? And so, all right, how do we know if it's time to turn pro? I want to kind of talk, and then I don't know, like, if anybody is here and has questions, please let me know. Again, I am hosting From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, and we're going to be talking about 2025 strategies. All you have to do is comment the word grow. My amazing mini chat automation will send you over the link to your DM, and you can enroll and be inside. Okay, we get started in just a couple weeks. I'm geeked about it. I've been talking about this for a good little time because 2.0 is the time is here. The time is to update some of these materials and to speak on, you know, the framework that I developed that roadmap that I developed when it comes to turning pro or going pro, and how you need to think when it comes to being a business owner, right? So comment, grow, and you can join. So my first point that I have here, how do you know when you're ready to go pro? How do you know, right? You know, because maybe you're a little unorganized right now, right? You're losing track of client stuff. Some people signed a hard contract via paper. You got notes written over here. You got stuff over here. It's not giving organized. It's giving disheveled, right? But you're wanting to book more clients, more and more clients. You're wanting them to come your way. Y'all know the saying. I'm going to say it. Y'all know the saying. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. A lot of times that next level, all those clients, the influx that you want or whatever, that big client that you want, whatever, it's going to come to you when you get organized, when you have more systems, a better workflow, a better system for clients to come in and work with you, right? The last clients, you don't know where you took their notes. You don't remember what you all talked about. You can't find all of these things because things are just all over the place, and you really don't have a true workflow defined and identified that's going to help you stay organized and stay put together in your business, right? So if you're feeling a little unorganized when it comes to the business side, maybe you don't have a CRM. You don't have an easy way for people to pay you, to sign a contract, pay you. You can easily put them on a payment plan, put them whatever. These are signs that it's time to get serious about the business. Okay. I'll never forget one of the girls, I was about to say first, and that is a lie. One of the girls that I worked with, and we started working together a couple of years, and we're still working together because, listen, once you come in, it's hard for you to leave because we're going to make money. You're going to become confident. You're going to feel good about content. You're going to start attracting your clientele. You're going to want to stay in the aura. You're going to want to. And I want that for you too. Like, I am so driven by other photographers, specifically women of color, just making money with their gifts and talents. I'm so driven by that. I want to see you send a proposal out that is 4 figures, 5 figures, and blow your own mind on what's possible, right? So anyway, when I first started working with her, she was like, oh, I've been doing this for a while, and like, I pretty much have everything together, but I really just want to, like, I heard you mention something about like a signature service and like restructuring prices. Like, I just feel like that's really what I need to work on. I was like, okay, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all, we got up in her business and stuff was so unorganized. She didn't have real systems. She didn't have a workflow. She didn't have a CRM. Things were all over the place, whether it was a Google Drive doc, a notebook, a this or that. Stuff was all over the place. And I had to really gather her. I'm like, yo, you remember when you told me you had everything together? That's not the truth. But I'm glad you're here. And we have really organized so much so that this is her year. Like, I have a feeling this year she's about to literally soar. Like, the weddings, 10 weddings she wants to book is going to be hers. Selling out her mini sessions and things like that is going to be hers. That $75,000 that she wants to make is going to be hers. In her business, she still has a 9 to 5, right? So these things are possible. They're really possible. Okay. So another way to know if it's time for you to go pro is maybe you have a desire to be full-time one day. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I would love to be full-time, a full-time photographer. Or I would love to be able to make the same amount of money that I make in my 9 to 5 in my photography business. If you have that desire, then you need to start to focus on the business side now, right? Like, this is so important because if you do desire to go full-time, You gotta really build up your engine. You gotta really build up your muscle, your capacity, your muscle for content, your muscle for marketing, your muscle for hearing no's, right? Your capacity to take on more, your capacity to develop into somebody that you are not right now, right? Like, we are not taught what it looks like to be a business owner in school. We're just not. There's so much that you don't know when it comes to selling and marketing and promotion and financial management and upsells and back end sales and having a great client experience and, holding space for clients and then also holding space for like you to show up for more clients. Like, there is a capacity in which you have to tap into in order to reach that level, right? So if you ever have a desire to go full time, or you ever have a desire to prove to yourself that you can make more money in your photography business than you are making in your 9 to 5, like, those things are possible, but you have to focus on the business. Right? You have to focus on the business. I cannot reiterate that enough. I've seen such amazing photographers. I mean, they are talented, they're gifted, they're like just so good. But I've seen them literally go from shooting all the time back in the 2019, 2020, 21 to now they barely have a business. Why? They didn't focus on marketing. They didn't focus on promotion. They didn't really understand how to sell. They didn't continue to put their work out there and their voice out there and switch up some content strategies and try new things. Like, they did not develop into the business owner that they needed to be in order to sustain this business, right? So there are seasons, just like ebbs and flows, right? There are seasons when things are all the way up. There are. And then there's seasons when it's crickets. That's business, right? And so when we're thinking about really turning pro, we're thinking about, how do I build my capacity? How do I become a better marketer? How do I even market? Who am I talking to? Who do I really want to talk to? Like, narrowing down on these things. And what kind of content do I put out there? I love when people ask me that question. I'm like, oh my God. Like, there's so many types of content, right? And once you make one piece of content, you can share that one piece of content in so many different ways. But it's about thinking like a business owner. Thinking like a business owner. Hey, you guys, I got some of my Elevate girls in here. Hey, girls, thank you for joining this live, right? So if you have a desire to go full time, or you have a desire to make more or the same amount of money you've made in your 9 to 5, I just really want to implore you to start to work on the business side now. There's so much that you don't know. There's so much that you probably need to improve on. And I posted this on my stories, and I feel very adamant about this, okay? When you think about the roles and responsibilities of a photographer, right? I want you all to think about the roles and responsibilities of a photographer. Are y'all here? Do I got some photographers here? Put some cameras in the chat. I think I got, if y'all, I want y'all to talk back to me. We about to do an activity. If you're a photographer, put some cameras in the chat. I know I see y'all. Simone, Stephanie, Charlotte, put some cameras in the chat. What's up? Y'all there? When you think about the roles and the responsibility of a photographer, what comes to mind? What are the roles and responsibility of a photographer, a pro photographer that has a business? What are the roles? What are the responsibilities? If we were to write them out like a job description, what are some of the roles? Put them in the chat. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Amy. Hey, Allison. Love to see y'all here. Put some of the roles and responsibilities of a photographer in the chat. I just want y'all to think about this. Put them in the chat. I'm going to wait. Because I think that what I notice is that photographers really, really undermine some of the roles and responsibilities. We really undermine it. I was going to say y'all, I'm in there too, but I've turned things up a notch, right? I've shifted in how I think about my role and responsibility as a pro photographer. Y'all can put them in the chat. I'm waiting. Hey, Simone. Thank you for joining me. What are the roles and Allison said everything. LOL, girl, everything. I think that a lot of times we want to just believe that it's just shooting. We want to just believe that it's just shooting and editing, right? We want to just believe that it's just like prepping clients for a shoot, finding really nice locations to shoot, shooting, right? But there's so much more to that. So much more. And when I think of some of the biggest roles and the responsibilities of a photographer, I think about marketing. I think about selling. I do. If you're talking about being a pro photographer, running a business, marketing and selling is just as important as shooting. I said it. Marketing and selling is just as important as shooting. It is. When we think about sustainability, when we think about the longevity, when we think about making 50K, 75K, 100K, 250K, you cannot tell me that they only shot and got there. There are some people that are, the needle in the haystacks, right? There are some people that are the needle in the haystacks. I give it to them. But for the majority photographers, marketing and selling is just as important as shooting. Just as important as planning, Simone. Love that you said that, right? But marketing and selling and promotion and content are things that we just absolutely hate doing. We don't do it. We don't want to show up. We can't figure out why people are not inquiring with us. We posted something one time. We posted something 2 times. We posted something 3 times. And oh my God, nobody's coming, Ray. Like it just must be me. No, it's not you. They just don't even know. Like, it takes people, and my coaching girls know this. They know I'll be on this. It takes people 7 to 21 times to buy into something. It takes people to see something 7 to 21 times to take action, right? And so are you showing up consistently? Are you putting, like, I like to, so one thing we're going to do in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 is I have an Elevate marketing formula, and I break down the pieces of marketing that are required so that you can position yourself as an authority, as the expert, as the go-to person, so that you can attract your ideal client. You can start to think like them. You can get in their head and they can start to see you as a person. I have that Elevate formula. And one of the biggest pieces of that formula is you, the photographer, or maybe your team, whatever, however you want to do it. But that's a big piece of it. Like, what we do is a personal service. People are meeting us in the park. They're trusting us. You know what I mean? They're giving us their money way before they even, so a big part of it is that connection piece, right? Guilty of that. Listen, I know how this goes. So Simone, you're already in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, girl. I can't wait. So I'm excited for you. And all the things that we're going to talk on and touch on. But when you really think about those roles and responsibilities of a pro photographer, it's way beyond the planning and the shooting and the editing and the location scouting and those things. We have to think about the business side. What do we need to do in the business in order to keep the demand and the momentum moving the ways that we need it to move, right? What do we need to do? Marketing, content creation, promotion, and selling is at the top of that list. I tell my coaching clients all the time, you can skip out on some things because you might be having a bad day or you might be overwhelmed or tired or sick or whatever, but don't you ever skip out on your revenue generating tasks. We have to constantly be planting seeds because we never know when the seeds are going to sprout and when they're going to harvest. But one thing I do know is that if you don't plant a seed, you will have no harvest, right? So this is why I really like to work with photographers. Number one, I get you. I am you. We are of the same. Like, I literally started my business. I didn't even have a career in photography. And now I look around and everything around me is because of something that I built. Right? And so I love helping photographers with content and marketing and planning and financial, the financial piece of it and using data and metrics and holding a space for you to support you and to hold you accountable for the things that you desire so that you can go out there and get them, right? Pitch, right? Find the clients, attract the clients, pull them in, get paid well, right? I'm excited for you too. These are things that can be possible for you. You just have to be willing to do something different. And I hope that something different is joining From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. I really hope that that is your something different. Okay, so another way to know that if you're ready to go pro is that you build up a little momentum. You've had a couple clients, they really love their photos, you're finding your stride and your confidence and your style of work. Like, you're just feeling yourself. You're like, okay, momentum is here. Like, maybe I can do this. Maybe this can be a business, right? When you start to feel like that, I want you to, oh, it's time. Let's go, right? Put your foot on the gas and really like develop the business, develop into the CEO, develop into the entrepreneur. And maybe the CEO is like too far-fetched. I know a lot of my people be like, girl, I don't call myself no CEO. I'm not even there yet. I would argue with you a little bit, but what you are is a business owner. What you are is an entrepreneur. You're not just a photographer, right? And so developing into that, learning what it takes to be an entrepreneur, how to think like an entrepreneur, getting the data. Like, you know, we get to use our creative brain, but then we also get to use like another side of it. And it's just it can be such a beautiful journey. I just believe it's like such a beautiful journey, right? It's an opportunity to impact others, to build beautiful work, like images, legacy images, to help people see the beauty in themselves, to give people joy. And photos stand the test of time. Like, even when things are setting on or when things happen, like, photos bring back that memory. The photos I have of my mother passed in 2020 are gold to me. Like, if my house was burning down and I had to grab some items before the house burned down, I'm absolutely grabbing this picture frame. I'm grabbing a picture frame over there. I'm grabbing my camera bag. You know what I mean? Like, the power of photos. And I think sometimes we start to forget like how powerful we are, the visionaries that we are, and how special it is, right? And so this is the work that I love to do. Okay. So I'm doing From Hobbies to Pro 2.0. You guys just comment the word grow. And I'll send you the link, or mini chat will send you the link to your DM so you can enroll and join me. I'm really excited about the 2.0 because 2025 and beyond, so much has changed. Content has changed. The way photographers need to market has changed. And I want to help other photographers inside of this cohort. So what does this look like? We'll be together for 5 weeks, all of April, every Wednesday evening, all of April, we will be live together. So you get live coaching, live training, live feedback. I plan to do some social media audits. I plan to do some website audits. I plan to do some pricing audits. Like, I just have so much that I want to do. And I just really want to help this group of photographers, like, start to develop their muscle in being an entrepreneur and becoming more confident in your CEO role, and understanding that your role and responsibility in this business has a lot more to do with just shooting, a lot more to do with just editing, right? Just thinking about it from your consumer standpoint, from the potential consumer that you're trying to attract, thinking about it from their standpoint and how they are, how your content is coming off to them. Sometimes you need another set of eyes to see like some gaps and holes that you have in your business, so you can get better and just really like improve on the business side. So again, if you have a desire to go full time, or if you want to make this the same or more money you make in your 9 to 5 in your photography business, focus on the business. Focus on the business. Okay, don't buy another piece of gear. Trust me, you got everything you need. I don't even know what you got, but you got everything you need. Okay, focus on the business. Matter of fact, inside of From Hobbyist to Pro, we can talk about gear. I'll tell you the next thing that I think you should get. Depending on your genre, depending on your who you're here to serve, depending on what you have, we can talk about gear. But don't waste money getting all this gear that you're not even using, and it's not helping you make money, right? If you're unorganized or you're losing track of things from client to client to client, you don't have a system for clients to pay you, you're not really sending out proposals or contracts for people, you're not making it easy for people to pay you or to set up a payment plan, these are things that we will talk about in From Hobbies to Pro, right? If you built up a little momentum and you've been working with clients and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this could be a thing, this could go far. It can. It absolutely can. That feeling you had is real. Let's go. right? But we have to be intentional and strategic about how we get to those next level goals that you have. You're reading my mind as I was Googling here today. Allison, I cannot with you, girl. Girl, come on. Let's get the business side, right? If you really want to build a business that you're proud of, one that feels good, one that you're able to serve the type of clients that you really want to serve, and you're able to see your work in magazines and billboards and marketing materials, like across the internet, I don't know, like whatever it is that you want to do, like whatever these dreams are that you have for your photography business, it's doable, right? And so if you want to build something you're proud of, I just really want more photographers to focus on the business. Like, we really undercut ourselves when we don't do that. And I've seen some of my clients, like they were going to send out a proposal for X amount. And then I was like, hold on, let's think about this, or let's think about that. Let's revamp this. Let's revamp that. And just by us working together, they were able to increase their sales by so much, right? One of my girls, when she did From Hobbyist to Pro, her goal was to make $6,000 in every quarter. And she didn't believe it was possible. It's like $2,000 a month, right? $2,000 a month will give you $6,000 in a quarter. She just didn't necessarily believe it was possible for her because of her pricing, and she lives in a small town, and like all of these things. Y'all, not only did she make the $6,000 a quarter, she blew that goal out the water after being in From Hobbyist to Pro. And she was able to make the most money she had ever made in her business ever after working with me. And now we're on to the next goal. Like, we have already surpassed the goal that she did that year. We're on to the next goal and the next goal and the next goal, right? But that's what accountability, that's what support, that's what strategy will get you, right? Stop trying to YouTube everything or throw something in the wall, see if it sticks. Look at what other people in your industry are doing. You don't know. Some people are not running legit businesses. Let me just be honest with you. You just don't know what they have going on. I want you to build a business that you're proud of. I want you to feel confident about your pricing. I want you to feel confident about your deliverables. I want you to fall in love with your work, right? Like, this is the part of really developing as a business owner, okay? So again, these are ways that you know it's time to go pro. And stop playing small. Stop hiding behind your photos. Stop hiding behind your Instagram page, because the truth of the matter is that you're the one that arrives to the project. You're the creative, you're the visionary, you're the one that they are looking to work with, that they're trying to make a connection to work with and feel comfortable in working with. And they're looking for you, right? More projects, more things are on the way to you. But you have to really focus on the business, okay? So, any questions? Does anybody have questions for me? Like, I love a lot when people ask me questions. I love to hear that I'm reading your mind. And if you are new around here, I love it. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ray Whitney. I am a photography business coach. I am a wedding and portrait photographer turned photography and business coach. I've had my business for 13 years now. This year will make my 10th year being full-time. When I say, I look up and around me and everything is off of something that I built, off of a love and passion for photography. And I have been able to sustain my business year after year, making 6 figures plus in each year since I've been full-time. I do this, and now I get to help other photographers make money in their business and show up more confident as a CEO, and just hold space for them to be supported and to be held accountable, and to learn strategies and trainings that are going to go way deeper than a YouTube video could ever, way deeper than an Instagram reel could ever. You know what I'm saying? And I create content for you all, but I'm trying to pull you in. I'm trying to get you on the other side so that we can get in the depths of your business, in the depths of the people that you're trying to attract and work with, reviewing your pricing, reviewing your cost of doing business, developing sales goals, helping you strengthen your muscle in content creation, strengthen your muscle in marketing, strengthen your muscle in the capacity in which you're able to hold and handle. Because the truth of the matter is, you're able to hold more. You're able to do more. You are. You keep telling yourself you're not, but you are. I know that for sure. Do you think this course will help regardless of your niche? Absolutely. Oh, Allison, I love that question. Thank you for that question so much. Absolutely. Nothing about what I do, like as a business coach for photographers, is niche specific. Okay. For example, I've worked with boudoir photographers. I've worked with portrait photographers. I've worked with wedding photographers. I've worked with studio photographers that are just opening a studio. I've worked with product photographers. I've worked with photographers who do like in-person sales. Like I literally have worked with so many different genres or niches of photographers. So it's not about like a specific niche. I'm not teaching you how to shoot a wedding. Like that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about business. I'm teaching you how to think like a business owner. I'm teaching you about marketing, understanding what marketing is and how it can apply to you. Not only that, I'm going to coach you. So I'm going to be calling on you in this cohort. Hey, Allison, I just taught this concept. What comes to mind for you? I'm going to be doing some audits. So some social media audits, some website audits, some pricing audits. I'm going to be giving you guys things to work on in this program. Like, it's not niche specific. So I love that question so much. Not at all. It's about business. It's about business. So if you are in business, if you are trying to grow your business, if you are trying to develop as a business owner and you're a photographer, then you are in the right place. And this is an amazing opportunity that I would love for you to take advantage of. Not only for not for me, but for you. Like this is the type of program that's going to give you it's going to just set you apart for the rest of the year. It's going to give you so many ideas and you're going to have so many things going off in your brain. Like, I didn't even think about that. Or, man, I've been doing it this way. I didn't even know you could do it that way. I didn't even know that all of the things. Like a lot of times you don't know what you don't know until you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to this 2.0. So let me walk you all through like the 5-piece framework from hobbyist to pro. And it all builds on itself. And so this is how I'm going to be doing the training, is going to be starting with like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Now, in each step, I'm going to allow time for question and answer. I'm going to allow time for feedback. I'm going to allow time for just some live things. So the first piece is defining a photography style and your ideal client. So I'm going to be talking about style of work, your ideal client, and then we're going to be doing live Q&A or live audits. Whatever really feels good to the group, right? Where people can come up and say, hey, well, I have this type of audience I want to attract and this type of audience, but I also like the things that are going on in your head, you're going to be able to get coached and feedback on. So the first one is defining your style of work and your ideal client. Step number 1, style of work and ideal client. Okay. Step number 2, creating your website and pricing your services. So we're going to be talking about what needs to be on your website or your landing page or whatever page that you have linked out of your bio. If you don't have something linked out, we got a problem and we're going to figure it out. And from Hobby to Pro 2.0. Okay. How are people learning more about you? How are they coming into your world? And when they come into your world, what is your process in order to communicate and talk to them, right? A lot of this can be automated. Some of this can have a personal touch. I think that both of them, it's the both and, especially as photographers. And then pricing your services. We're going to talk a lot about pricing and whether it's hourly pricing or packages. I'm going to teach you guys what I believe you should have as pricing. And I'm going to be giving feedback on pricing live in this cohort. So that is step number 2. Okay. Step number 3 is creating consistent strategic content. Creating consistent strategic content. Okay. So we're going to be talking about content. And strategic content, specifically content for that ideal client that we've identified, right? And how to think like them, how to get in their brain and for them to see you as the authority and how to make this easy and fun. Like maybe you create a piece of content, a long form piece of content of a blog or a long form video, and how we can take that and make it into small forms of content that you can post on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or wherever you show up for your audience, right? So creating strategic and consistent content is step number 3. And then step number 4 is clearly defining your brand as a photographer, and how to define that and articulate that to the public, to the masses, to the audience, right? Thinking about it from a cold, warm, and hot audience standpoint. Clearly defining your brand. What makes you unique? identifying your uniqueness, putting words to your uniqueness, right? I think that even in this, I don't want to give too much away. But I also want to show you all how you can use ChatGPT to help you with some of your content and some of your messaging. But you got to feed ChatGPT what you wanted to know. We can't just like let ChatGPT be this robot and, create this robot business. No, it needs to feel like you. It needs to be specific to how you want to show up, right? So clearly defining your brand is step number 4. And then step number 5 is strategic marketing and advertising, right? Strategic marketing and advertising, using strategy when it comes to advertising and marketing and what that looks like, where you need to show up, maybe how you need to pitch, who you need to get in front of, thinking about collaborations, thinking about different projects that you can do, right? So this is my framework that I've developed in From Hobbyist to Pro, and I'm super excited about doing the 2.0 trainings and concepts to each one of these 5 pieces of this framework, because when you put this puzzle piece together, this is what builds a sustainable photography business foundation. All of these pieces together is what builds that sustainability. So I asked in my stories earlier, if you struggle with pricing, if you struggle with consistent marketing, if you struggle with content, right? Like if you struggle with any of those, this is what I'm going to be coaching and teaching and doing trainings on and giving live feedback on inside of From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. This cohort is so, to me, it is a freaking steal. It's a steal, right? Like if you book one session from joining this cohort, you've already made your money back. When you book 2 sessions, we in the ROI. When we book 3 sessions, now we're just 2xing, 3xing our initial investment. That's what I want you to see happen for you in our time together. I'm driven by that, right? I want to see it. I want to hear the wins. I want to hear the ahas. I want to see you say, oh my gosh, Ray, I pitched myself with these new prices and they said yes. And I want to see it blow your mind, right? Like I want to see these things happen, and it absolutely can happen. I just need you to show up and do the work. I just need you to show up on those Wednesday nights and have an open mind. Take your notes, focus in, right? Be like dialed into this business and these goals that you have. Okay. So that is the 5-part framework From Hobbyist to Pro. And again, if you have this desire to go full time, if you have this desire to make the same amount or more money than you make in your 9-to-5 or your photography business, I highly, highly, highly suggest you focus on the business side: pricing, content, marketing, ideal client. These things are going to be the thing that's going to keep you sustainable, keep you building that momentum. It's not the gear, right? It's not another piece of lighting equipment. It's not. It's how you're showing up and putting your services, your thoughts, your expertise into the world strategically and intentionally, right? Being really intentional about how you're talking to people as well. We're not here for everybody. Honestly, as a photography business coach, I don't even want to work with everybody. I really want to work with people that are fast action takers, that are driven to get to their next goal, and that do the work. That's who I want to work with. It's almost like in some ways, I'm looking for like mini unicorns. I'm looking for the unicorns. I'm looking for the ones that's like, Ray, I know I got something. This little drop in the bucket from Hobbyist to Pro is nothing, girl. I'm about to kill it. I'm about to be your next star student, like whatever. Like I want that person that is like so determined and so clear-headed and so driven and bold and just courageous. And they're like, Ray, I just need a little help. I just need a little support. I just need a little accountability. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just need someone to help me build up this confidence as a business owner. I want to work with those type of people. Action takers. Doing the work. I can't do the work for you, but I sure can help you. I can help you. I can hold your hand. I can be your strategic partner, but you have to do the work. Okay? I love to work. Listen, when you get off a call with me, my folks will tell you, you are going to have action set. You're going to have things to do. I'm like, all right, here we go. The first things you need to do, tell me, because I've already talked about them, but I want you to be clear because it takes action to build, right? You're welcome. You're welcome, Austin. Yes, Stephanie, so worth it, girl. Amen, amen. Okay, so anyway, so what you'll learn is we're going to go through pricing. and stop guessing what you need to charge and really get into the data and the metrics and building a sustainable pricing structure. We're going to work on content creation and marketing. I know we're all still working on it. We can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. We can be building something that is thriving and still working on becoming the best version of ourselves at the same time. These things can happen simultaneously. I also am still building and still working. I have not reached my peak, and I don't think I'm going to reach my peak until another 10, 15, 20 years. I'm okay with that, because for me, it's about the journey of becoming and being true to who I am and my desires, and constantly like pushing myself and learning and just evolving. Like, that's what it's about to me. Okay, so we're going to work on pricing. We're going to work on content. We're going to work on marketing that attracts the right clients. We're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about automations. We're going to be talking about your website. I'm going to be doing some website audits. Some of you guys need to absolutely do some changes to y'all website. Some of you don't even have a website. We need to talk about how we can get you a website ASAP, because it can happen. I actually have a client. I ain't gonna call no names. I have a few clients. That I've put the heat on them for websites, and they have showed up and they have showed out. And we are steps away from launching their website. And they went years without a website. But when you over here, we got to do things right. We got to do things the right way. Okay. And I'm going to help you stop feeling stuck so you can start growing with a real plan and a real roadmap, a proven roadmap that others have done, that I have done myself to build my business. To get me to a place where I'm able to sustain my business and understand how I like to show up and make money in my business, right? So that's what From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 is about. I'm super excited for this 2.0 version of this foundational business course. You will get access to the course for the entire year. So you will be able to go back and watch these trainings over and over and over together. You will be surrounded by a like-minded community that's going to lift you up, that's going to inspire you, encourage you. You will get trainings. So you will have hard, tangible strategies to implement and to try out in your business. A lot of marketing is being willing to test, and to being willing to be repetitive in your messaging and talk about things time and time again. And so we're going to talk about how to make that feel good to you and how to strengthen that muscle that is required when it comes to content. So that's what From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 is about. Enrollment is open. So join. Again, all you have to do is comment the word grow, whether you're here on live or you're going to be watching this in the replay. Just comment grow. I also want to say that my DMs are open. Okay. So if you have a question about whether or not this is a good fit for you, if you have a question about whatever you're facing in your business right now, I am available here. I just want more photographers to not stay stuck, to not try to blame it on, the economy or the oversaturation or the algorithm or like all of these things. We can always find a way to place blame on when things are not happening the way that we want things to happen. But what about your own ownership and onus for it? Are you showing up consistently? Are you showing what you want to book more of? Do people know who you are? Have you positioned yourself? Are you building your authority in the market, in that specific genre? Right? Are you doing the things that you need to do in order to be seen in the ways that you desire to be seen? We got to get real. We can't keep pointing our fingers at everything else. We just can't. Because that is not taking accountability for your responsibility. And we have a huge responsibility as business owners to show up in our business. Nobody's coming to save you. Your perfectly aligned client, the perfect clients that you want aren't just landing in your lap. They are potentially looking for you, but they're not just going to land in your lap. You have to show up for them. You have to be the expert and the authority for them. You got to put your thoughts into the world. They want to connect with you. They want to see your work. Right? And it should feel almost like an engine that you just keep on going. You're oiling it. You're putting gas in it. You're making that baby go. Like, this is what business is. Okay? This is what business is. So anyway, I've talked a lot. I'm so hungry. I've talked myself into a little hunger. I'm hungry. If anybody ever has any questions, please DM me. My DMs are open. Join from Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. We get started super soon. Time is flying by, baby. March came, 2025 came in and said, baby, we got somewhere to go. We got somewhere to be. Okay, so either y'all gonna get on or you're not. You're gonna get left behind. I don't want my people left behind. I want my people to know that this is an opportunity for you to grow, to develop, to bet on yourself, to show up for yourself, to do the work in new ways that you've never done it, right? To get some help, some support, some accountability, to be surrounded by an amazing, uplifting community. We do real-ish over here. We support each other over here. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, no, we're not, it's not, no bad energy. This is not about, competing with nothing. No, we all can win. There's space for all of us to win. I believe that. I uphold that value, and I'm very, very about my business. We about business over here, okay? So if you need to work on your business as a photographer, I really implore you to check out From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. It is a drop in the bucket for what you're going to get back. It is a no-brainer investment. It is also a write-off, okay? I want to talk about that. It's also a write-off for your business. And so come and join me inside. I'm looking forward to it. We get started April 2nd, and I can't wait to see you and work with you, okay? So I'm going to go get me some food. Happy Friday night, y'all. And I'll talk to you guys later. Check me on the DM if you need anything, okay? All right, talk soon. Bye.